Wafu here with another little vlog type of thing. This one's about Breaking Bad and Walking Dead and why I think they're top shows, what makes them top shows. Um, I'm going to talk about some similarities between them two and then kind of individualize them. First, this is opinion based. There might be spoilers in that, so don't get angry thinking, oh, you're stupid. I'm based on my opinion watching the shows. The first similarity between the shows, why they're both are top TV shows, is because of AMC. I think they give them a lot of leeway. They let them do with the show. Like they don't tell them what to do, what not to do. They pretty much be like, you do this, make sure it's good. And you can see that by AMC track record, by Mad Men, The Killing. What else? I'm trying to think. House on Wheels, which is an upcoming show. I might start watching that. And by Breaking Bad and Walking Dead. Like there's no lack of content on that TV channel. That's why I believe that this is the best cable channel out there. Um, it's a really good channel, and the way they run it is perfect for both those shows. Um, their main cause why those shows are top, like in my mind, because like I said, they give them leeway and they let them do what they want to do and what feels best for that show. So another reason is they both thought outside the box. They both thought of ways to do something different in their genre. For Breaking Bad, they made the protagonist, Walter White, the good guy, into an antagonist, the bad guy. And you've really never seen a show like that. You've never seen a show executed like that. And there, it was, it's an awesome show. Like when that show's on and Walking Dead isn't, Breaking Bad's a top show. When Walking Dead's on and Breaking Bad isn't, Walking Dead's a top show. Like to me, that's just how it flip flops for me, pretty much. Um, Walking Dead, zombie movies are pretty much about killing. There's not really about a plot line between characters, but in Walking Dead there is. It's more about human survival than just killing zombies. Like, yeah, it's surviving, but what about the group relationships, their past, other humans that would be uh, forthcoming as a threat, as we saw already in this past 3 or 4 episodes, the end of season 2 to beginning of season 3 of Walking Dead. And they, like I said, they both went against their genres for the ideas they did. And I thank them for that because TV shows were starting to get stale. Like Big Bang Theory, that show was good in the beginning. Then they just tried to make them like metrosexual hipsters and stuff. Like, I'm not gonna watch that. That's not the show I started watching. And then 2.5 Men, they threw Ashton Kutcher in there. I still watch that show from time to time, but it's not the same. Like Charlie Sheen actually lived that life, so he played it really good. Uh, they're just trying to get the young teenage audience nowadays, making geeks look like goddamn hipsters and Ashton Kutcher's a man whore. Which it probably is, I don't know. He married Demi Moore, so. Um, some also they both have really good music. Every time I see a song playing Breaking Bad and Walking Dead, instantly gotta look it up and see the full song. Um, they both. I failed on both. They both use literary elements like symbolism, foreshadowing. Breaking Bad uses it a lot. Sometimes you see it in Walking Dead, but I forgot what the literary term is for it when you use something outside of the context. They used a lot of Shakespeare in Walking Dead too, and they use a lot of I'm trying to think of it what it's called, but there's a big theme behind it. Some people say the theme of it is kind of like the Holocaust. I've read some articles on it, but I'm not 100% sure. But some people are saying it's kind of like a Holocaust type of theme to it. Possibility is it? Uh, so yeah, those are the similarities between the shows. I don't. There's not really big differences between them. I would say for not like show wise, like how the show's handled, how they went against their genre, and then the music like that. Of course, it's gonna be different because they're different plot lines. Um, but for Breaking Bad, making the protagonist into an antagonist, I've never seen a show execute that as good. The only show I could see doing that right now is Last Resort, but I fell asleep on that show. That I don't know. I might try it again, but that's on ABC, so it's not gonna be. It's gonna be pretty held back. Um, the characters in that they changed so much. You saw here comes the spoilers, but you saw Walt go from a school teacher to a kingpin meth cooker. You saw Jesse going from a hardcore drug user to a guy who doesn't really want to do that life anymore. He wants to live a real life. Um, the characters changed so much in that. So did Walking Dead, but it's kind of not surprising because you're in a zombie apocalypse. You gotta adjust your life. Which same thing to Breaking Bad, but you're not really in life or death situation every second. For Walt maybe, but Breaking Bad is just it's a very like every scene matters. I wouldn't say every scene actually. It, both shows show that you're gonna hate characters. Like you just wanna you're gonna even hate their actors at some points. Everybody hates Skyler. Like she's a bitch. It's all you see is and then the breakfast thing. Like they both of the shows show have really good internet memes. They're really good against the internet culture. We see Walter White. He's always well, not Walter Jr. He's always eating breakfast. That became big internet thing, like a meme and everything. Both of those shows bring that together. And other shows don't really do that. Um, so yeah, they really tailor to the audience. They really you gotta pay attention to every scene in Breaking Bad and Walking Dead. But I don't both shows are really similar. I keep bringing that up. I don't not the plot line, but the way they tailor to the audience and the way the characters and everything. Walter White is definitely the best character in any TV show I've ever watched. I think he's the greatest character in my opinion. I really like watching him. It's just sometimes it's scary. It's like, am I gonna see bad Walt or good Walt? And I think Bryan Cranston is he's my favorite actor. So is Jesse Paul. He's up there. Um, Jesse Paul. I'm named Aaron Paul. I always call him by his character name. So yeah, that's pretty much Breaking Bad for why I think that's why I think it's one of the top shows. For Walking Dead, like I said earlier, outside the box, they went against their genre. They went for the human interaction with this apocalypse. How other humans are going to interact with each other, how they survive, how relationships affect the group, how um, actually, go back. Hang on, let me go back and Breaking Bad. They use literary elements. Some element, some examples is foreshadowing. They use the pink bear, which was blown up in a plane above Walt's house. Half the bear was burnt. Like, and then later on in season 4, you see Gus with half his face gone. They they were nobody knew the understanding of that pink bear till the last scene of season 4. Like that's when you knew when that bear mattered. They also you could say that's symbolism too, maybe, but more foreshadowing. I'm trying to think of a symbol for. They use symbolism more in Walking Dead. Breaking Bad, I can't think of any what is it? Can't think of any examples for imagery, but they use a lot of literal elements. But back on Walking Dead now, like Walking Dead outside the genre, they went against what that type of show would do. Instead of just focusing on the zombies, they're most focusing on humans. And now you're gonna see it season 3 when the comic books that's when it really gets really good is like the prison. So now we get to see the human versus human aspect of what would happen in a zombie apocalypse. So they went against their genre pretty much. You could argue those other shows did it, but are those other shows like Walking Dead have a really big following? Not really. You could say Resident Evil, but now they're just that's like what they're almost on their seventh. I think they're doing their seventh movie. So yeah, but you, Breaking Bad is more creative than Walking Dead in my mind. Well, I understand why it is because Walking Dead's based off a comic book, so they go and Walking Dead's just right up top of your head. But Walking Dead changes the comic book up. Every time I watch that show, I don't know what's gonna happen in the end because they like to leave cliffhangers. So does Breaking Bad, and every scene counts in The Walking Dead. Like you have to look at every scene and be like, what does this mean to the group and everything, that type of thing. Breaking Bad, you can argue for that, but some scenes just don't matter. Like every time I see Skyler talking, I'm like, oh, like this scene just I don't want to watch it. But Walking Dead also uses symbolism. The Cherokee Rose is kind of a symbolism for hope, but really not. Each character has a um, is pretty much a symbol. Like Dale is a symbol of humanity. Rick was a symbol of Rick. I don't know. Uh, Shane was a symbolism of uh, what is it? Just a power. He was kind of like he wanted control. You know, he thought he was the alpha male. Dale was a symbol of badass. You could say that. I know a lot of people say that. Carl was a symbol of what childhood pretty much because he has to grow up fast. So the characters in that show are key to that show, really key to that show, like their plot lines and everything. Um, what else? What else? Foreshadowing, you can they they do a really good job with that, thinking, oh, maybe they're foreshadowing someone dying by the way they say it, and then that doesn't happen. It's the complete opposite. They really do good with that. They're one of my favorite thrillers to ever watch because I'm on my seat every time I don't. Because they talk up so many times how much they were thinking about killing off a character and how they came really close to it. Like shit, I don't know what's gonna happen the next 2 minutes. So that's pretty much why I think both of those shows are top TV shows at their current time. I think they will continue to be top TV shows even when they're done. Um, so just a little recap. Both shows are awesome, pretty much. They're shows that people have never saw in their genre. That's why the reason why they're top shows is because they're shows that we haven't seen. There's been a stale of ideas. We've been seeing remake of shows and everything. Been terrible ideas, like ideas that have been done. Both shows have executed their ideas perfectly. They got the perfect characters to resemble the roles. Both have really good cult followings. They tailored to the internet. Both shows have memes like Rick Tatership, the breakfast thing for uh, Breaking Bad. Everybody's in love with Norman Reedus, the actor that plays Daryl in Walking Dead. There's a big following behind him. Big following behind uh, Walt. Like, if you go look up those shows for there's a lot of stuff for on the internet from like fans and that. While other shows like Big Bang Theory, there's like no following on the internet. Like those other shows, there's no big followings on the internet, and I think both shows accustomed to the new generation really good, and AMC helped them out with that. AMC letting them write what they want, letting them do what they want, pretty much not putting any restraints on them like other channels would have done. So that's why, in a little bit of a recap, I think both those shows are top shows. So I want to thank you guys for watching. It's a little bit of a long video, but I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to be doing these more because they're simpler to do with a terrible laptop because it takes so little time to render. All my information is below. Twitter, subscribe button. Comment below what you thought. Maybe speak your mind a little bit why you think those shows are good too. I haven't talked a lot about them all. There might be some ideas you have about the show of why they're good. And like I said before, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.